how things are cooling off. And that's the Facebook post I really wanted to pull up, because somebody in our Collective Genius group posted today that, what's going on in your market, basically. Are things really cooling off? And it really was depending on where they were.
Yep.
Arizona said they started cooling off in May. Somebody in Chicago said they started cooling off the beginning of June. Then we've got people in Texas, and some people in the Southeast were, putting their 2 cents in there, saying we're still as hot as we can be. And then there were other people too that were saying it really depends upon the price point. They started talking about anything over 300 it's appearing to sit just a little bit longer.
And I would 100% agree with that. I mean, we have reached that
buyer fatigue.
Well, buyer fatigue and just buyer ability. I mean, this, what is it, 6% inflation, or is it maybe a little higher, that has occurred nationally. Locally, it's in some places it's up to 20%. Has priced a lot of guys and gals out of homes.
Yeah.
Who they want to buy a home, and then to couple with that, the rates have ticked up 1/4 of a point. So if they could have afforded that house and it was really thin when the rates went up, I mean, it might just throw their DTI off.
Yeah.
And they can't get it. So you're seeing people, like you said, like at 350 margin, where they want to buy under that. There's nothing. There's little to no inventory in that price range.
Yeah.
And new construction, the permitting is down 5% June over May, and we have supply issues. They're not finishing the homes.
Right.
And then it's costing more to finish them. So. There's so many issues.
What will it do? How will it affect?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know who can still afford these homes. I mean, the argument is most people who can afford, like the inventory that's out there, has already purchased. So, one of the reports that I read,
and we're still short on inventory.
And we're still short
in every market.
I mean, we've been saying this from day one.
Yeah,
affordable housing, and that's what we want to focus on. But like, with the supply chain issues, I know lumber has come down significantly. Still, I think 70% higher than it was last year.
Still crazy, but
so those things are creating issues for affordable housing.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the, I would argue one of the biggest. Like we're doing new construction, but man, it's tough for those guys because of the costs.
Yeah.
I know what would have cost someone probably $200,000 to build 2 years ago is costing them $320.
Yeah, and I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, up until recently, they've been able to push it along because the prices of the retail side have been increasing. But gosh, what if you're a custom builder? You give somebody a price to build their house, and you are up the creek.
Yeah.
Being able to pay that. My other thought too, when I'm thinking about how quickly the market is changing, how expensive even starter homes are, and homes that you want to buy to rehab are, is this really a good time for a new investor to get into the business? You got to have some pretty big
cojones.
I was going to say ambitions, but but you got to be really focused, and in my opinion, cash flush to be able to start as a new investor.
I mean, you really need to have the ability to cover any overages, which will happen.